If you were very rich, what things would you absolutely not buy? A huge mansion. I'm kinda terrified of being alone in a huge building. Unless I could move my family in. But that's weird. Yeah, honestly. My dad had a giant house. I think 12K SQFT. 4 floors plus basement. In a dying small town. So not as expensive as you'd think. At one point, and it was stupid. There's no value in having duplicates of different types of rooms. And it makes you walk extra far to get to rooms you want to go to. There was a bowling alley. But the pin setter was often broken, and bowling is really only fun occasionally anyway. There's not much reason for your living room and theater to be separate, let alone a library or two. There was a ballroom, but unless you throw massive events, it's pointless and weird sitting alone in a 60-feet room, monsieur. And there was like 2.5 floors he didn't really use. He sold it, auctioned everything in it, and retired in a small house in the mountains where he now rants about how he wasted time running on a financial treadmill working to buy shit that didn't even make him happy. I'm never buying a house over approximately 2,500 square feet. I would stop buying toilet paper and get one of those Japanese robot toilets. The TP savings would offset the cost over time. Edit. I mean the like thousands of dollars high-end Japanese toilets like Toto makes with heated seats, several bidet modes, and it blow-dries your ass with hot air, not just any old bidet. And I want it to say motivational phrases in Japanese to me as I poop. That's probably a custom order. Any exotic animals? They deserve to stay in the wild. If anything, I would raise money to release any captured animals back into the wild where they were taken. Fro monsieur. Edit. I'm aware that many animals aren't able to be released. But with my money, I would move them to a sanctuary and rescue. The animals that I'm saying should be released are the ones that had been recently taken out of the wild from adulthood. Nice try, Carol. A fucking yacht. Edit. Yacht. Boats in general are just so much trouble. A little John boat with a simple motor which fits into the back of my pickup, that's about as far as it goes. Once you get into trailers and bank loans, I'm out. The 2 happiest days in a boatman's life are the day he buys his boat and the day he sells it. Your emphasis is off. Well, I'd buy you a green dress, but not a real green dress, that's cruel. Haven't you always wanted a Mon-Carat key? Reddit coins. May they come to you nevertheless. Overly elaborate and expensive home renovation. Putting money towards good material is a good idea. But when you purchase stuff like Italian hand-carved wooden banisters stained with eagle's tears in unicorn pea is just plain stupid and won't get you the return on investment. Back up a minute, I hear that unicorn pea keeps the nargles away. Designer clothes. On the other hand, I would absolutely have clothes made and tailored specifically for me. I'd have it done by tailors, jeans makers and shoemakers to help support small businesses. I'd do the same with custom tailors. But I'd go all out. Like, I wanna look like I just stepped out of the Met Gala when I go grocery shopping. There are 2 types of rich people. The people who buy Yeezys, and the people who buy shit from brands you've never heard of. Don't want to pick on Yeezy here, but in my mind they're the brand for people who buy based on brand recognition. You buy that shit to show off how much money you have. Very nouveau riche. Spending money to show that you have money. Real rich people buy stuff that's often bespoke, custom made, from some guy who makes simple stuff from the very highest quality materials. It looks like everything else, but it feels like nothing else. And it lasts for fucking ever because it's made from the highest quality stuff. And the very lack of pretension in design is an arrogance in itself. Buy a $2,200 Burberry trench coat, and you're buying a coat that's looked the same for approximately 100 years. Your kids will be wearing it, and it'll only be looking more classy. I'd stop ordering from Amazon and start paying companies for overnight shipping instead. Organs in transit to donor recipients. You're right, with all that money you can get fresh, young, warm organs. Off-the-rack clothes. Except maybe some comfy underwear. I am getting myself a fleet of tailors and making all my clothes custom-made. I have money to burn and ideas for designs. MLM products. Drugs and hookers. It's not buy immediately with no second thought. Paradoxically, if you're really wealthy, you don't have to pay for this shit. It finds you. Expensive clothes. It's the dumbest waste of money. Depends. Designer brands where you're paying for the name. Definitely. But say a Savile Row suit. Then you're paying for much greater quality. If you wear relatively expensive clothes made for outdoor activities, you'll be comfortable and look okay. They hold up really well so I don't have to go shopping. Which I dislike. A tiger. What kind of tiger? I'd absolutely buy a tiger tank if I could. Everything's in German and it's leaking fuel all over the place. Kelly's Heroes. I will never buy diamonds, they are just shiny coal and market connoisseur. I'll probably not buy roses either. Non-first class plane tickets. Long flights suck. I've never been in first class and it looks comfy AF. It is. It really is. I know it's absurdly expensive, but it is also worth it. And I hate it. However, if you're flying with a large amount of people, instead of going first class, it can actually be more cost efficient. But not very environmentally friendly to fly private. Expensive fancy cars. Finland only has 2 to 3 months of good season to drive such things. If you are lucky, rest of the year the weather is awful and they are impractical. To survive Finnish roads and weather you need some sort of medium-sized good quality car. Big ones ain't gonna fit anywhere. Small ones can't deal with the winter weather. Designer clothes from big brands. I would buy good quality clothes, like the stuff from small independent stores and designers. There is a shop near me where you can see the owner sewing the clothes they sell. Or use local tailors. That is the kind of stuff I want to own and wear. Because they aren't made by slaves in Bangladesh. Also expensive jewelry and watches. What the fuck do I do with them? Also big expensive architectural disaster of a home. I have zero interest in haunting the empty halls of a glass cube with a color scheme of dark wood, black elements and white furniture. Also a building like that requires maintenance to keep okay. And there is no point in trying to maintain a building that is basically empty. Also I'd have to build it somewhere remote, where everything is far away. I don't want that, even if I built it from good materials, with good engineering and design, located on good property. It would be a pointless investment. There aren't enough rich people or wealth culture for it to have social value. And it would be next to impossible to sell if I ever want to get rid of it. There are plenty of plus €1 million homes on the market that no one is buying, because there is no market for them, especially outside of the capital region, and I have zero interest living in that miserable hole. It is like a sink in hell. A hell sink. I'd probably buy a fancy car and never drive it, just to have the chance to take it to a track or the Autobahn a few times. Although I'm not sure I trust myself to drive 100 plus kph. I know it's a waste, but it's one of the few wastes I'd indulge in if I could. If I were like Bezos rich, I'd use my money to avoid buying all the dumb shit people buy and then sell when they go broke. Mansions, sports cars, jewelry, etc. I'd probably be like a doomsday prepper instead. A plot of land with a bunch of tiny homes, all with a secret bunker underneath that connects to a central bunker underneath the lovely sitting garden in the center of my tiny home ring. It'd be like that hatch from Lost, but less creepy for whatever reason. IDK if that shit was ever explained, because I never finished the show. I'd get everything delivered so I'd never have to drive. I'd hire drivers when I did need a car ride. I'd support my family and my family's families and invest and try to keep it running for as long as possible. And then, when I reach old age, I set up a Hunger Games type deal for ownership of the commune. Or freeze myself. Whatever. So a cult, you'd start a cult, haha. This comment contained the proper balance of cohesion and rant. Lottery tickets. Politicians. You have to buy politicians in order to ensure nobody else can buy them, monsieur. I'd buy as many as I can afford. The attention of a young gold-digging woman. That makes one of us. Expensive cars, sport cars. They lose value faster than most other cars. Until you get to a certain price point, at which the cars are seen as an investment and normally gain money pretty steadily. I interpret very rich in OP's question to mean that I wouldn't care about a $100,000 car losing 30% of its value. If you enjoy sports cars, it seems like a great way to spend your very rich money. I always look at those NYC apartments near Central Park that cost like tens of millions of dollars and think, wow, if I had enough money to live there, I would absolutely not live there. Are you kidding? Having one of the most scenic parks right outside your front door? Hell yes, I would live there. Not really for everyone. If anything, I'd rather build a house in the woods and mountains of Washington. Way better than Central Park. A gigantic mansion that could house my entire extended family and still feel empty. Same for gigantic yachts. Like, what's the point? And they're so huge that you can't actually decorate it yourself. So you can't even personalize it. You just hire someone else to fill it with crap so you don't feel like you're living in an empty warehouse. The point of Veblen goods is conspicuous consumption. If it flies, floats, or fucks, rent it. Tigers or other exotic pets. Seems like a giant hassle and comes with a lot of risk. I also wouldn't buy t-shirts for $500 or any other expensive fashion nonsense. Wired earphones, that's for sure. I don't want to smell like broke when I'm rich. There are wired headphones that cost far more than any of the wireless options out there, and are much better as well. Not that price always correlates with quality. People. IRDK what I'd buy, but I'd buy Fortnite and delete the game from existence. Found the 14-year-old edgelord. Don't do that, it keeps the current crop of wannabe gamers busy somewhere safe. Reddit Premium. Plastic surgery. At the end of the day I love cats but would hate to look like one. The affection of someone else's ex-girlfriend, wife, whatever. A boat. Warranties. Boat. Happiness. The person that says money can't buy happiness does not know how to be happy. I'm willing to give it a go. I guess you'll have to rent it? Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.